Let's learn one of the most simple acoustic guitar licks. Simple, right? Joke aside, I think this lick is absolutely fascinating. One thing that I love is the fact that he goes from not playing to playing this thing, right? And he's talking to the guy and he's like, yeah, you can record, of course. And he throws this thing right at you. So how do you even get started learning this thing, right? Is there a way that we can make it simple? Absolutely. And I'm gonna show you the 3 steps process that I really like to follow every time I try to learn something that is challenging. So then maybe you can, kind of use it and it can work for you as well. The 3 steps are very simple. Step number 1, you got to figure out the left hand. So you have to learn the notes. Step number 2, you have to figure out the right hand. So how he plucks the strings. And the step number 3, you have to create exercises that are basically variations of what it does so that you can get to this level step by step. I think the worst thing that you can do is to repeat this thing over and over again and hope for the best. Of course, the left hand is the easiest part because we can just slow the thing down. We don't have to play that fast. We can go way, way slower. So we get the first 4 notes. So classical Gus is in the key of A minor, and he's playing in this pentatonic, position here. We got 4 notes. So it's 8, 7, 5, and 0. But the cool thing is that it does 8, slide to 7, pull off to 5, pull off to 0. You got 8, 5, and a pull off. Then we have just a pentatonic phrase. So it's 8, 5 with a pull off, 0, and then 7, 5, and a pull off. And it goes down the same way. 7, 5 with a pull off, and 0, 7, 5, and 0. Yeah, babu. And then we have 7, 5, and 0. Now forget about the last section. This one we can do it later. That might be actually the easiest thing to learn. So we got the first notes. The most important aspect here is that we play these notes slowly, but with the same emphasis, with the same techniques. So you don't want to end up playing. You can't do that. You can't pick all the notes. If he's using pull-offs, you're gonna use pull-offs, even if you play the phrase super slow. Slide, pull off, pull off. Now, if step 1, left hand, you have to be absolutely precise in terms of the notes that he's playing. With the second step, the right hand and how he plucks the strings, you can find your own way. For example, in this case, I don't use the thumb pick. I don't think I'll be able to use the same plucking pattern. So it starts with the thumb, and you got thumb, slide, pull off, pull off. So the first 4 notes is literally just one pluck. Then you got thumb, and then I think it's the index finger or the middle finger. Yeah, so it's thumb, slide, pull off, thumb, index or middle, and pull off. This is the first phrase. Then it does the same thing. So it's thumb, pull off, thumb, index, pull off. Same thing. Thumb, pull off, thumb, index, pull off. It's probably the same. Yeah, thumb, pull off, pull off. Now I think what it does with the D sharp, yes, with the index, so kind of, you know, slap the string, grab the string, pull off, thumb, pull off, hammer on, and we finish with the A, the fifth string open. I don't think this plucking pattern is gonna work for me. I don't think it's gonna work, so I'm gonna find a way to pluck the strings, you know, differently. Now for me, I really like to use 3 fingers. I will do thumb, slide, pull off, then I have the index, and then the middle, and then a pull off. This one works really good for me. Then I'll do the same thing, thumb, pull off, index, middle, pull off, thumb, pull off, index, middle, pull off, and then thumb, pull off, and then I'll do the thumb here, pull off, index, pull off, thumb, and thumb. There's one thing that I noticed while I was practicing though, is that because we have all these pull-offs, keeping the thumb too low is not gonna help. So for example, if you're trying to use like a classical left hand position where the thumb is lower, like it's really hard to perform the pull-off technique. You can't really hear the notes that you pull off. And so I noticed that what it does is actually using the thumb, look at this, as an anchor. So it's literally just grabbing the neck. And I think this is really helpful because it's just going to help with the pull-off technique. In fact, it feels very different now that I'm holding the neck like this. We have the notes, we have the plucking pattern. Now we have to build speed. And how do we do that? So let's create a few exercises that are actually going to increase also your speed and your control, and you will be able to play this lick fluently, quickly. Since it's a quite repetitive lick, which is based on a pattern, we can actually remove the slide here and just practice the pull-offs without the slide, like this. I'm basically just repeating the same thing on a different set of strings. That's the first group, second group, third group, and fourth group. So we're practicing the same movements, but in different ways. We could also use a different scale. For example, play the pentatonic scale in a different position. I mean, all these variations are so challenging that at some point I will make this lick sound easier to play. I mean, look at this variation. Then we'll go back to the, familiar pentatonic position. It just sounds and it looks way easier to play. We have the notes, we have the finger picking pattern. We also have all these variations. At some point, it's all about repeating and using these movements so that you become familiar with playing them. I don't think I'll be able to play this lick better than this, at least not today. And it's fine. just like you, I'll have to sit down and practice and improve. There's no trick, there's no magic, there's no shortcut. We all have to sit down and practice and learn from these awesome players. Now I'm going to leave you to practice this awesome riff. Let me know if you like the lesson, and I'll see you next time.